UAAP dropped the hammer on UP Fighting Maroons head coach Bo Perasol. Coach Bo will now miss UP's next 3 games after the UAAP slapped him with a suspension following his outburst against the officials during UP's loss to Ateneo. Joining us today on the line is Coach Bo to give his thoughts on the suspension. Coach Bo Perasol now joins us. Coach Bo, is the 3-game suspension too harsh?
Yes, Miko, definitely. That's too harsh, no? I'm basing it actually from the fact that I have yet to hear in my so long years here in the UAAP that an ejected coach has yet to be suspended for 3 games.
Bakit sobra yung 3-game suspension?
Well, number one, wala naman sa rules yun eh, no? The good commissioner was saying yung 1-game suspension, that is automatic, no? That is what we can accept. But the other 2, it roots up from the fact na may sinasabi niya yung continuous flagrant action, no? But then again, that's discretionary on his part, and doon sa motion for reconsideration namin, we pointed out na yung continuous na flagrant action na yan, may mga corresponding punishments yan, no? Yung mga written warning, 1-game suspension, parang magkaiba yun, you know? For me, at saka sa management namin, so we feel na yung 1-game suspension, yan lang yung winawanan ng action na nagawa ko.
So the appeal is ibaba yung 3-game suspension to a 1-game suspension. Coach Bo, how confident are you that this appeal will be granted and that your suspension will be lowered to just 1 game?
Doon kasi sa we pointed out every action or every point na we're trying to contest yung extra 2 game suspension, no? And this is not just about appealing na or ibaba nyo naman o kawawa naman kami. It's not that, no? Ang appeal namin is based on points and based on rules na ano ba yung tama, no? We cannot just be discretionary, or we cannot just be parang emotional about it, no? What does the rule say? Ano ba ang sinasabi ng rule na pag may mga infractions na ganyan, ano ba ang i-merit niya? So that's why I'm confident na when we point out yung clarification namin with the Office of the Commissioner, that they can see also the point that we're trying to emphasize. At hindi ito tumatakas o hindi ito tumatawad, walang ganyan, no? Ang pino-point out namin is ano ba yung dapat? Ano ba yung dapat? Hindi yung patawarin mo naman kami dahil 3 games yan, mahirap para sa amin, no? I don't think that is the point. The point is ano ba yung dapat na ipataw sa akin after yung ejection ko.
Well, thank you very much, Coach Bo, for clarifying that. And, of course, best of luck on your appeal and for the rest of the tournament with the UP Fighting Maroons. Maraming salamat, Coach Bo.
Maraming salamat, Nico. Thank you.
So that's Coach Bo Perasol and explaining kung bakit yung appeal nila is dapat 1 game lang instead of 3 games. So let me ask our analysts here, Jett, Manuel, and Javier. Guys, do you feel, or what is your take on the notion na yung 3-game suspension might be too much?
Well, I think for me, it's a little bit too much. I think 3 games is a huge chunk of the second round, and at the point where the Fighting Maroons are right now, that's a huge blow to them without their head coach there. But looking at it technically and reviewing what I saw and how I saw it, I think the way Coach Bo handled it, yes, he is deserving of a suspension, but the 3 games is really I think the UAP is just sending a message, but bottom line is I think it's just really too much for what I saw he did.
It is therefore a very, very strong message kung sakali.
Yes.
Martin?
For me also, it's a little bit too harsh, pero at least they showed basis on why they did it. Initially, automatic one-game suspension, as Coach Bo mentioned earlier. Automatic yun. Pag na-disqualify ka, meron agad yun. May pataw agad na one-game suspension. And after reviewing it, this team kasi they reviewed the games thoroughly and they assessed the situation talaga very well. They're very objective about it. So there's a reason behind, the additional 2-game suspension, which were, of course, the acts of aggression, according to their statement. Kahit pinipigilan na si Coach Bo nung coaching staff ng Fighting Maroons. So I think for me, a little bit too harsh, but I think at least there was basis why he made the decision. And it's also a way to regulate and prevent this from happening again in the future. Because I think that's one of the things, one of the priorities by the commissioner this year is to, make it about the game. Not make it about anything else. Control the situation as much as possible.
Pero yun yung interesting kasi, ang kino-contest ng UP management and Coach Bo is yung basis mismo is yun yung gusto nilang tignan na, and reading this quote from Attorney Patricia Galang of Nowhere to Go But Up. Attorney Galang goes, we know that tough sanctions are sometimes needed to deter unwelcome behavior on the court, but the penalties meted out by the UAP should be commensurate to the violation. So itatahi natin yan to what Coach Bo said, na hindi sila parang nagre-request na ibaba. Ang sinasabi nila, hindi tama yung 3, dapat 1 game lang based on
the facts.
Yung mga pinisent nila na facts.
Yeah, but we always have to respect what the commissioner will say and what power he has, because that's why he's in that position in the first place. So, looking at it objectively, he has that power to extend and that's what he felt he needed to do. And we have to point out also na it's a new commissioner, Commissioner Ilagan, and his experience with the ABL and the way he wants to handle things. It's really gonna be difficult to prove na ito yung ginawa nyo last year, ito yung ginawa nyo before, and then lead it up to why are you doing it now? Because like I said, iba na yung pag-handle sa league.
Different perspectives, different experience behind Commissioner Jensen Ilagan. So I think, feeling ko, doon din siya nag-base. Ibang klase rin yung nila siguro, process of actually determining these types of calls. So aside from this one, meron tayong official na nandun sa violation. Ano ba yung kailangan natin gawin? Which I think they can compare to their experiences before. Okay, ito yung ginawa namin before. This is how it happened in the international scene. So we're gonna apply it here, and if it's applicable, then we'll stay solid about it.
Okay, this is going to be an interesting situation and an interesting case, and therefore tututukan natin yan. We're not yet done talking about very interesting topics, gentlemen, because when we return, a lawmaker wants foreign athletes out of the country's collegiate leagues. We'll talk about the pros and cons of this now controversial proposal when the score returns.